Scorpio friends, and welcome to your horoscope for June of 2022, where Scorpio, this month it's actually quite good because I feel like, especially after this last lunar eclipse that happened in your sign, your ability and willingness to shed some of the things that are available for transformation this month is pretty high, which is really, really delicious. But what it also has made space for, I think, is a newness inside of your relationships that you just couldn't drum up before. Like it just needed time for certain things in relationships to become different. You know, time just needed time. So I think there's a lot of availability for your learning style, for your relationships, and also all of that pours into some depth. There's a different depth from you that I think is available, especially as we close out this month. So we'll talk all about that in just a second. Now, Scorpio, please keep in mind to be watching the community tab of this channel so that you can see what's coming up next in the YouTube Academy classes. We're starting off with Melissa LaFara. I will be your second teacher coming in, going over how to get your chart and the chart anatomy. So be prepared by watching those videos and coming with your questions at the designated time, which you will find in that community tab, okay? All right, let's jump in here and talk about this month, Scorpio. Now, first and foremost, let's keep in mind a couple things, okay? When we're coming into this month, your seventh house, that Taurus energy of relationships, is loaded with a lot of electric, changeable energy. Uranus is in Taurus, Venus is in Taurus, and on the 3rd, we're going to have Mercury coming out of retrograde at 26 degrees of Taurus. Now, the interesting part about this Mercury coming direct at 26 degrees of Taurus is that this is not new information. You may have gathered different information during the retrograde, and now you have a different perspective on something in your relationships, but the content of what was delivered to you is likely exactly the same. Now, please don't limit what I'm saying. Think about this in your own life. When I say relationships, is this a business partnership for you? Is this a romantic relationship? Is this a relationship with an ex? Is this a relationship of you with divine energy? How does what I'm saying apply in your life? Because whatever it is, this has been changeable, and there is some newness that is available in these relationships. Now, Mercury coming out of retrograde at that 26 degrees of Taurus. Remember, we've been watching 26 degrees of Taurus to 4 degrees of Gemini, so it's not new. New perspectives are available. Mercury is direct now, so you may be moving into position to make different decisions in this Taurus energy. Now, right or wrong, we don't see Mercury leave its full retrograde cycle until June 18th, where it gets to that 4 degrees of Gemini and then is prepared to move forward. But Mercury's out of retrograde today. If you need to make some decisions, go ahead, all right? As we get to the 4th, we're going to see Saturn stepping into its retrograde at 25 degrees of Aquarius. And now we're going to watch from 25 degrees of Aquarius to 18 degrees of Aquarius all the way until October 22nd. Now, Saturn's retrograde for you is happening in your 4th house, okay? Now, this again gives me this thought or this indicator that Saturn here going retrograde is actually bringing a sense of completion to something in your 4th house zone: home, family, real estate, property, roots, something, even truths that have been rooted in you for a very long time. And Saturn says, hey, we need to take this to the next level, or you've achieved mastery here. Good job. Let's get ready to let this go. A shedding principle that I think is very strong and available for you. Now, if there does happen to be something that needed to come up, a house repair, a family repair, something with your parents or something like that, the Saturn retrograde could make that more evident to you during its retrograde path, okay? On the 13th, we're going to see Mercury scooching forward into the energy of Gemini. Again, not out of post-retrograde shadow time, but yes, it is moving forward, so that is good news. Now, this is going to light up your 8th house space, and the 8th house being of joint resources, intimacy. You see into me, so a space of talking, communicating, writing, sharing, in a place that has depth for you. Maybe a place that maybe you're talking about debts. Is there a contract? Have you been contracted for years? Have you been paying off a debt and today's the day, or during this cycle you get to bring that to a close? Is this when you're talking about trauma, you're talking about pain or hurts? Are you making collaboration plans with another person? What is this for you? Are you studying astrology? I'd love that for you. Whatever it is, we see Gemini and Mercury ready to have these conversations at a deeper level. Now, on the 14th, we're going to have this full moon and in Sagittarius at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. So this lights up your second house space. This is money. This is the money house, right? How does money come to you? How do you make money? What are your creative skills and talents that you use to bring money to you? What are old ideas that you used to have about money that don't actually apply to you anymore? Because we have to think Sagittarian, like this is the truth. This is my truth, or I've been legally bound to a financial arrangement, and now that's not going to be true for me anymore, right? Now, the other thing I would like you to consider, though, that this particular moon is also in square to Neptune, who is slowed down and preparing to go retrograde in your 5th house. So something about a financial arrangement in your life seems like, or a value arrangement, let me not just say financial, but a value arrangement in your life seems like there's something off about it. Something may be a little misguided with the information, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It simply means, okay, do you have a child that's going off to college and you think, all right, cool, we got all the financial paperwork done, nothing to be worrying about, and you hear in July that, hey, we still need your financial accounting for your student, right? It could be something like that it's just easily missed, but it kind of kicks the goal of where you're trying to go like off gear because there's something that's being misrepresented. Is there something else in your financial zone where you're like, I could be speaking and sharing this, but you feel like that doesn't align with what my community would have me say, or I'm afraid to express that in some way? Did you have a child, or did you as a child tell a lie about something, and this is catching up in some way, right? So look at the way this arrangement of just like a miscue of information in some way has a financial implication, okay? So I would also tell you, if there are financial things that come your way around this full moon, look over every detail like 5 times so that you're not missing what's there. And even if you do miss it, just know it is the will of the universe, okay? On the 21st, we're going to see the sun enter into the energy of Cancer, bringing light, heat, life, and vitality to your 9th house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, travel, legal things, immigration, just getting out beyond your horizon. This is your time to take a deep breath, to take a dive, and to come on out here, which, how exciting for you. What are you free of at this point, Scorpio, that is allowing you to expand out more, to expand your work? Maybe you're teaching something, maybe you're learning something that goes beyond your horizons or where you even could have gone a couple years ago. On the 22nd, we're going to see Venus enter into the energy of Gemini. Venus coming into Gemini is nice and attractive, right? In a very intimate way, something that you're interested in, you're talking about, you're sharing, you're being sociable with your feelings, with what you've learned. Maybe even in a place that you felt like there was debt, you're magnetizing money in, and it's bringing like a healing salve to the table. I love that for you. All right, on the 28th, 2 events going on. First, we've got Neptune stepping into its retrograde at 25 degrees of Pisces. This again lights up your 5th house space. Now, first place that I went to immediately for you, Scorpio, is if you have children. If you have had a delusion around something with your children, Neptune retrograde takes us out of the fuzzy fantasy that we kind of can dress things up with, and we need that. We need that little buffer from full reality all the time, but it will show you in just reality what's going on with that child, or a belief maybe that you've had about that child, or maybe you've had some ideas of or ideals that your child was going to live up to, and now it's like, meh. Now, this could also be in romance for you, right? The vision versus the reality. And it doesn't mean that it's broken, but it does mean there is a dissolving where you've got to see things in the reality in order to raise them to the next level of your ideal or where you would like them to go. It's like the truth will set you free. So it's very much so a period, if you think about it, all the way from March all the way until next March, with Neptunian energy slowing down here in Pisces, where you're getting to go back into what are the stories you've been telling yourself about your life, about love, about how you express, about joy in your own life, about what you really need to be happy, that when you bring it right down to current reality, it's not actually in alignment, okay? Then we're also going to have a new moon happening in the energy of Cancer at 7 degrees, at 7 degrees of Cancer. Now, this moon is also going to be squaring Jupiter, which happens to be in your 6th house in the energy of Aries. So I'm going to tell you, this is great. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, getting you out there. I love that. But this is not the time to pull the card where you're like, I'm going to just go big or go home. Upgrade that ticket even though I don't have the money. Not the best use of that energy. Instead, taking this and creating a space for you, creating the leap that you're ready to take out into the world, I think is a much better way to be secure in using this new moon. Plant those seeds of intention to do just that, and I think you will be more than happy. All right, Scorpios, enjoy the month. I love you, and I'll see you next month. Bye.